So today we're going to talk to you about Aphasia Toasters. And like I said, I'm Debbie Yones from Voices of Hope for Aphasia, and with me is Brooke Owen. And full disclosure, we are both employed by Voices of Hope for Aphasia. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to turn on captioning. There we go. So Aphasia Toasters, as we like to call it, is one of the activities that is available as part of Voices of Hope for Aphasia's Living with Aphasia group program. We have a total of 6 programs. Living with Aphasia is one of them. The activities that show up in that lineup of activities for Living with Aphasia are all selected and voted on by the members, and they are selected based on the interests of the members. And naturally, many of our members have said that they would like to do presentations. They would like to present to students about what it means to have aphasia, to other people about what it means to have aphasia, and to just present in general. So we thought that might be a good way for us to generate a new activity. So we put on our SLP thinking caps, and we thought about how do we turn this activity into something that also supports aphasia. And I'm going to do a little shout out to both Aphasia Access and Jerry Kaplan at Boston University, because one of the wonderful things about Aphasia Access is the fact that we collaborate and share ideas. So this little nugget came from Jerry at an Aphasia Access meeting. So we knew that we could put together an activity that we could use for more than just standing in front of a group of people and just presentations. We knew that it would encourage participation more easily in personally relevant topics, like introducing themselves when we had new members join our groups. We could use it to reconnect with family and friends if they have a family get together and there's some things that they could have practiced to share with the family and friends. They could use it at doctor's appointments to share personal information. And then of course, hopefully also increase independence and confidence. So those were the bits of our little SLP thinking caps. So the way that we did it, the method was that we combined components of Toastmasters International together with some modified script training. And here's my shout out to Leora Cherney and all the work that she's done on script training, because we knew that through script training, we could move some of that information that is needed. We move it from sort of this on-demand, which is more difficult, to a more automated access of the information. So we smushed those two things together and we generated our Aphasia Toasters activity. And now Brooke is going to talk to you about how we did it. Nope, first I'm going to continue. So we modeled it off of Toastmasters International, but we're not part of Toastmasters International. And we have a few key differences between the two. Not the least of which is that we lighten the time pressure that Toastmasters incorporates into their procedures. And now we'll talk to you about what parts we do use.
Okay, so the format for Aphasia Toasters starts off with part 1, which is off-the-cuff speeches. So we do this for the first 15 minutes of the session. So not everybody will get to go, but a few people will volunteer to do an off-the-cuff speech. And the purpose of this is to break the ice by asking a question about something relevant, something that happened recently, or about something funny. It incorporates spontaneous speech and provides a good opportunity for the person with aphasia to make sure that they stay on topic and answer the question that was asked, which can be difficult for someone with aphasia. So the topic is chosen by the speech therapist, and the person with aphasia who is about to present has 1 minute to think about the topic. and each presenter aims to speak for about 3 minutes, but longer if they can. The speech is timed only for the purpose of letting the person with aphasia know how long they were able to speak on a topic for, but there is no cutoff time. So we don't interrupt them, we let them speak for as long as they can. This sort of task is going to be difficult for some, so for those whose aphasia is more severe, we give them the option to try it out if they want. We value their participation just as much, so if they choose not to do it, we ask them to provide feedback for the others. And so after the presenter has given their off-the-cuff speech, the group will provide feedback, and this is the rating criteria. It includes eye contact, speaker volume, confidence and enthusiasm, and their ability to stay on topic and maintain a clear message. And we use a rating scale that is aphasia friendly from 1 to 5 that also includes visuals. So part 2 is the main presentation. This is the speech that they are constantly working on week after week. So we start out by reminding them that these are sentences and phrases that can be used in other situations, not solely for just presenting in front of us. We ask them questions such as, did your presentation come in handy? Did you use this script in the last week? Could you rely on this script? We remind them that they have this script in their back pocket. The purpose of doing this is to move things from an on-demand part of the brain to an automated part of the brain. We are practicing and practicing, so that way when someone says, what's your daughter's name? The person with aphasia can use the sentence from their script that has this answer because it's now in the automated part of the brain. So 1 or 2 people will practice their speech in front of the group, and those who are not presenting will provide feedback. Peer feedback allows them to monitor each other, and by monitoring others, it encourages self-monitoring. The ratings don't really affect anything, it's more friendly feedback, but they value a real evaluation. They want to see if they have improved since the last time they presented. So after they present, we prompt them to use phrases or sentences from their automated feed by asking them questions. So for example, if Mike Caputo, our founder, just gave a speech on Voices of Hope for Aphasia, we might ask him, when did you start Voices of Hope for Aphasia? And he will have the opportunity to use that part of his script in a conversational way. After everyone presents, we will use the remaining time to work individually on the main presentations. Debbie and I are available to help if needed. Some of our members have requested our assistance for fixing grammatical errors or inputting text on AAC devices. And since we only meet once a week, we strongly encourage them to practice at home. So after COVID-19 forced us to close down our in-person meetings, we transitioned to online using Zoom. And now we have a group called Aphasia Presentations. So every 2 weeks, this group will meet and 3 people will volunteer to give a presentation. The format has changed, but we are still leveraging the advantages of script training. By continuing this online, it gives people with aphasia a long-term task to keep them busy while staying at home. It also encourages the person with aphasia and their family members to work on something together. And of course, it provides an online community. This is a difficult time for all of us, but for people with aphasia who are already feeling isolated, this can be an especially scary and lonely time. The presentations are recorded, with everyone's permission. And each presenter will receive a recording of their presentation. So that way they can watch it back and they can see how they did. And this allows them to monitor their own progress. And as you can see here, this is a screenshot from one of our Aphasia Presentations sessions. And as you can see, everybody is smiling, they're all engaged, they're all participating, and they are all so encouraging of one another, which is amazing. So these are just some examples of topics that some of our members have chosen so far. A lot of people will talk about their stroke story. Mike Caputo, our founder, often has to give speeches at conferences. And so he has constantly been practicing and working on a speech with the topic of Voices of Hope for Aphasia. And then we have another member who enjoys sharing her tips and strategies with others. And so she has chosen Aphasia tips as her topic. We have another member who completely changed his diet and lifestyle after his stroke. So he chose to talk about plant-based foods because he loves sharing his experience and different recipes with others. We have had many, many different topics, but the most important thing is for the person with aphasia to pick a topic that is personally relevant and important to them, and one that they will be able to use often in social situations.
If you have any questions about what we've been doing or how we do it or any materials that you'd like to see, please don't hesitate to email us or visit our website and see what we're doing on Facebook. And that's it.